Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're starting chapter 12. We're going to be doing chapter 12, verse 1. And this is going to be the last verse of the Bhakti chapter, last chapter of the Bhakti chapters, because it's chapter 6 to 12, that are 7 to 12 that are focused on Bhakti, and then 13 to 18 are focused on Gyan Yoga. So the Bhakti is sandwiched between the Karma Yoga and the Gyan Yoga, and there's a little bit of Ashtanga Yoga in the first 6 chapters as well. So I am kind of feeling sad, like there are only 20 verses in this, and after that it's going to be Gyan Yoga mostly. And I'm not really interested in knowing about Gyan Yoga, but okay, whatever. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a huge amount of good information there, but I'm very happy that there were 6 full chapters on Bhakti, and he was just so clear in that about Bhakti being. So when I started this process last year, February, like it's been, right now it's June. And I started a year and plus few months ago. I was completely not sure about whether personalist or impersonalist or whatever, and now it's just I am such a different person. I'm totally, completely, utterly a personalist. I want the formed God. I want relationship with God. I want love and joy. I don't want peace, eternal peace with nothingness. It's like people say it's like committing suicide. But that brings us to that's a great segue to this verse, because first verse Arjun is asking which is better, impersonal Brahman or devotion. And so this is just a really beautiful thing. Also, I'm using a new tool. It's called OBS. Otherwise, I was using screen to video, I think, or whatever, video to record to screen or something. I don't know what the name was. But I had to do a lot of post-processing afterwards, because it took half an hour to convert to MP4, and here I can just toggle between full screen camera. I don't have to do that in post processing and or the screen or whatever I want to do, and it just directly records to MP4. So it's going to save time. So it's going to be amazing. Okay, so I've had to spend a lot of time trying to figure it out, though, because there were some settings, there was static in the audio, and then there was the video, the colors were just completely washed out, and I was like, what's going on? And I had to just keep going online, and thank goodness for the internet. My goodness, wow. Okay, so let's sing Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 3 times, and then I'll do a little prayer, and then we'll go into the verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Krishna, dear Radha Krishna, please, thank you so much for giving us access to your words, for giving us the motivation to want to listen to your words, read your words, understand your words, that you have given us for our benefit, that you've been so merciful that you gave us all of this through Arjun for our benefit, so that we could learn and we could also feel that ultimate joy and love that comes from attaining your love, Krishna Prem. Please help us use these verses. Please help us understand them to as much depth as pleases you, as much depth as you want us to. And please help us use these words, utilize these words, absorb these words in such a way that it helps us come closer to you and feel more love for you, feel Krishna Prem for you. Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, now let's do this. Let's see if this will work. I am going to do the... okay. Okay, so we're going to be doing chapter 12, verse 1. Let's sing this verse together. Arjuna Uvacha Evam Satata Yuktaye Bhaktastvam Paryupasate Ye Chapyaksharam Avyaktam Tesham Ke Yoga Vettamaha. Arjun inquired, which are considered to be more perfect? This is the beauty. Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. He's directly asking that, So I wanted to know the unmanifested is avyaktam. That is the word, just so we know that, that's what Prabhupada has given us, these words, direct word to word translation also. And then devotees, bhaktas or unmanifested. These are the two things. Like what properly engaged, properly worshipping your bhaktas paryupasate. Now the commentaries are very long. You can read them. It's basically talking. Prabhupada is basically talking about the impersonal Brahman versus personal. And so, okay, so this is something that I liked. In the second chapter, he explained that the living entity is not a material body. He's a spiritual spark with the soul. And the absolute truth is the spiritual whole. So spiritual spark versus spiritual whole, which is a beautiful way of describing it. 7th chapter, he spoke of the living entity as being part and parcel of the supreme whole and recommended that he transfer his attention fully to the whole. Then in 8th chapter, anyone who thinks of Krishna at the time of quitting his body is once transferred to spiritual sky, to the abode of Krishna. At the end of 6th chapter, he said, of all the yogis, one who thinks of Krishna within himself is considered the most perfect. So practically in every chapter, the conclusion has been that one should be attached to the personal form of Krishna because that is the highest spiritual realization. And then Swami Mukundanand here, he says Arjun's question once again confirms that God has both aspects, the all-pervading formless Brahman and the personal form. Those who say God cannot possess a personal form limit him. Those who say God exists only in a personal form also limit him. God is in all forms, basically. Yeah, so we are obviously going to do the personal form because that's where we are right now. Okay, so let me use this tool again to. Okay. I'm loving playing with this. I'm right now at the conscious competence stage of this tool. It's not unconscious competence. The previous tool was unconscious competence. I was at the highest stage of learning because I knew how to use it. It was easy. I didn't have to think about it. This tool, I have to think about it. Okay, what do I do now? What do I do now? Okay. Yeah, so that's it for this video. We'll do chapter 12, verse 2 in the next video. I wish you a day filled with tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of spiritual growth and Krishna's grace and Krishna prem. Radhe Radhe.